Hello and welcome to the Money Movement. Today we're going to be talking about the easiest way to save, and unlike most videos titled this, it's not clickbait. It's going to be talking about an easy thing you can do today, right now, to make your finances more streamlined, less stress on you, more time to do what you love, and you will find it easier to save. So what is it? Well, it's automatic saving, and I use it. I advise people to use it, and I find that everyone who tries using it generally finds it easier to save money, because what it does, it takes the pain out of saving money. It's not so hard on you. It's not a serious change in your life. It's just little incremental changes to help you build up more saving and mean you save more of the money that you earn. So most people tend to have a regular income coming in. It might be every couple of weeks, every week, it might be every month. It might be a salary, it might be tips, it might be an allowance by your parents. But generally, most people in the UK have a certain amount of money coming in over a set period of time. So let's say a monthly salary. Let's go with that. Most people tend to think, I'm going to wait until the end of the month and then I'll save what I have left. Now, unfortunately for most people and most of us, there's not much left at the end of the month because there's always unexpected expenses. You spend a little bit too much than you should do maybe. But generally that's mostly psychological, because people look at the money they've got in their current account and they think, oh, I can keep going, I can keep spending. And that's nothing to be ashamed of. It's really not. It's just that people see money and they assume they can spend it. It's in our psychological setup. It's how it works in our minds. So the way you can combat that is via getting that money out of your account as soon as possible, as soon as you're paid, and paying yourself first. You might have heard that before. So it's really important to pay yourself first. Just up there with your bills, with your rent, with your mortgage, with your payments towards activities, your gym membership. Put up there paying yourself. You need to pay your savings account, you need to pay your cash ISA, whatever it may be. You need to put that at the top of the list. So look at your money, work out how much you can save, and then make an automatic transfer. Now this in the UK is set up via a standing order. So go onto your bank, type in the bank details and make it a recurring payment. It means that every month on that day, the money will go from your bank to the savings account that you suggest. Now, we've done a video on AER and interest rates. So if you want to go and find out how to fish around for the best savings account, go watch them. But to all intents and purposes, set up a standing order and the money will skim off your account when you're paid into that account. It's important to focus on budgeting, which you will do in another video, because you don't want to save too much. You don't want to leave yourself short without access to money to be able to pay for the things you need in life. Now, because that money is no longer in your current account, you don't see it, you don't think it's there, you forget about it, and you will survive that month. I guarantee if you start off small relative to your income, you will survive the month. It will mean that you slightly cut down on consumption, but no more than you did when you spent all your money. The difference is you take it out of the equation to start with. You take the money out of your remit, out of your peripheral view, and it means that you can focus on the money you have left, knowing that you've put some aside. Now, over time, this will build up and build up and build up and build up. But that's how you can do it on a standing order basis. Now, standing orders are very similar to direct debits. The difference is a standing order you set up, generally speaking, a direct debit, the person who's claiming the money sets up. To all intents and purposes, the same thing. It just means money comes out of your bank automatically. There's another really easy way which I use to save money, and I personally use this to save up for Christmas. So every December, I cash this in and I start again in January. So what I do is I round up my spare change. Now, this started being done by digital banks, and now some high street banks are jumping on board as well, and it's great. It's a really easy way to save because you do not notice it. So what happens is, for example, you go to Tesco, you buy a meal deal and it's £3.50. You tap your card, the card will pay Tesco £3.50, but internally of the app that I use, it will round up that other 50p and make it a £4 transaction and chuck that 50p into a different pot for you, away from your current account, but into a different pot. And that builds up over time. So I put it as Christmas, and all my spare change goes into this account throughout the year. And I generally find that then by Christmas time, December, I'll usually be able to buy Christmas presents and food and go out for nice festive drinks, all with that money. And that's the important thing. You've got to think in 12 months time in December, if you haven't saved, what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to either really cut down on what you spend, or you're going to have to go into credit, or you're going to have to borrow money. It's not the right way to do it. If you can save up a little bit throughout the year, you'll have a pot of money which you can spend and enjoy. But how do you do that? It's automatic saving. It's getting that money out of your account as soon as possible so you don't notice it. It's not waiting to the end of the month and chucking a few £100 in, because it won't happen. Rounding up spare change, doing automatic investments into a different savings account is the easiest way and the fastest way to save money. And it will mean that you don't feel the pain of saving money, but in 6 months you'll look and think, wow, I've got a lot of money, and you'll start to be proud about how much you've got saved, and you'll start to build up a bit of money behind you to help you do what you want to do in life. So there you go, that's the easiest way to save, and it's through automatic investing. We're gonna cover this slightly when we cover budgeting, because obviously this is important. You don't wanna save too much, because you wanna still be able to cover all the expenses you have and live. But it's worth noting that when the money comes into your account, you wanna get it out as soon as possible so you don't see it. It'll make it much easier to save. And if you have got a digital bank that can turn on the spare change feature and round it up, that is a really, really fun way of spending your money. And you'll find that you're looking for purchases, which mean there's going to be a big roundup, because you get used to saving and you enjoy it. I hope this video puts the fun back into savings. I hope it will make it easier. And I challenge you, please do set up a very small transfer to a savings account you've already got set up. Download a digital bank and start rounding up your spare change. See how quickly you can accumulate savings, which will buy you a nice breakaway, a meal out with your partner, whatever you fancy. It will buy you something nice, and it will all be because you worked hard to save and you made it easier by automating the process. So as always, hope you found it helpful. Please do let us know if you did. Let us know any comments, any improvements, any ideas you want us to cover, and we'll be very happy to reach out through the comments, like the video, subscribe, email us, social media, anything to get our attention, and we'll be very, very happy to help you out. But until next time, you take care.
Capture some good content. What are you up to, mate? Can you talk us through it?
Yeah, I'm not sure I can talk you through it.
What Alex was trying to say is that he didn't pack enough batteries to last the 46 minutes we've now been filming. And to be fair, he and his brother Elliot were half an hour late. Well, it's 45 minutes late, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say half an hour's a bit kind, mate.
You know what they say, mate, if you're not 10 minutes early, you're 10 minutes late. Just remember that.